Hey guys, Benjie here. Just want to do a quick video. We're kind of doing that series of videos of why did you start Benjie's List and why is this a good idea, right? So one of the main reasons that I think this is a good idea is that it's an overriding idea, right? Is the idea that we finally get a voice in this conversation. So before now, it was just a one-sided voice, right? It was the homeowner saying this guy was a jerk, this guy wasn't as good as they thought they were, the crews were rude, or the guys were great, this contractor was awesome, and everything went perfectly, right? But we never really had a spot where we could say, hey, actually, yeah, that person might be upset, but here's why they're upset. Here's why they act like I wouldn't finish the job, because they wanted something unreasonable that my guys don't know how to do. So they thought I was a horrible contractor when they hired me to paint their house and they wanted me to fix the wood rot around the top of the fireplace or remortar the chimney going up, and I can't do that. And they thought that was ridiculous. They thought that was part of the project, and so they went on and left me a bad review, like, guys don't know what they're doing, I should have hired somebody else, I shouldn't have gone with these guys, yada yada yada, right? It's the same old story. So now we actually have a spot that we can go in and leave a review on that guy that said that. If Bob Smith came on and said, hey, those guys couldn't do it, that I hired them to paint my house and they couldn't, they didn't paint the fireplace, right? Like, that's not part of our job. It was never in the scope. Guy was a jerk to deal with. He didn't even pay me the last $3,000 because he kicked us off the job site, and then he never paid us our last amount, right? So we now have a place to do that, so that next time that somebody wants to go and do a job for Bob Smith, we now have that information there to go, man, Bob has 6 reviews here where he's a jerk to everybody. Like, I'm staying away from that guy. Like, I don't want to install a sprinkler system for him, because Lord knows he's going to say that I wanted to do 8 different sections and 40, sprinklers, and he's going to want me to do 50 and just throw in the last 10, and it's just going to be a mess, and he's going to be one of those 10% of customers that I say are the ones that we just don't even want to deal with at all. Or if you do, it's going to be so expensive that it's worth your time. So, but that's the overriding thing, is that we just want this voice in it. Right? So we just want to be able to say, hey, here's what really happened. Here's what this guy's really like. And the more that you get out there and you leave that review, and the more that everybody does that, so now when we go in and we check that person's address and we look them up, we can find out that, oh man, this guy's a great guy to work with. Awesome. I'm going to give him my best pricing and my best service, right? But if a guy's a jerk, we're going to say, no thanks. And then anywhere in that spectrum, right? I mean, if a guy's a 5-star, of course we want him. If he's a 1-star, of course we don't want him. Now, if he's a 3.2 or a 3.8 or 4.2, then you get to make the business decision. Like, man, it sounds like this guy's kind of a pain. I'm gonna bump him up, 10 or 15%, because it sounds like I'm gonna have some of that pain in the ass, to deal with, and I need to be charged for that time, because I know I'm gonna have my project manager there more on site. I might even have to go and show up and talk to him and try to smooth something out that he thinks went wrong in his whole mind, because he watched a Google video on how to lay a concrete driveway, right? Even though he has got no idea, but he's now 3 videos deep into YouTube on how to form up steps leading from a driveway to a front porch, and now he's the expert, right? So we've all run into those guys, but we want to know that going into it. So we now just want that voice, and that's one of the reasons why we're starting this service and why we're doing this, is so that we actually have an ability to give our side of the story. So keep the questions coming, keep any comments coming, and I'll try to keep answering any videos all the time. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good day.